A minivan is the ultimate family hauler, and while they're not as popular as they used to be due to crossovers, they provide the space, comfort, and utility that are required for most families. If you're looking for a minivan for 2016, the Toyota Sienna should definitely be put on your list. So let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Toyota Sienna SE. Now, this generation Sienna has been out for quite some time now, since around 2010 for the 2011 model year. But the Sienna got a pretty big refresh in 2015, and it included refreshed exterior and interior styling and updated features. Now, our model of the Sienna we have here is the Sporty SE trim level. In my opinion, it's one of the best looking minivans that you can buy. And you do get these smoked out headlights and a black mesh front grille. Looks pretty good in my opinion. And then you get these unique alloy wheels too. Overall, it's a pretty good looking minivan. Here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. It's a kind of unique Toyota smart key with the silver. And then you have your remote keyless entry, your lock, unlock, and then you have your power sliding doors, and then your panic button as well, and a power tailgate. Now, this color is known as the Silver Sky Metallic, and you do have smart key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door with chrome exterior door handles. You also have a full-on black leather interior. Power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar. Now, when you step on inside of the Sienna here, you're greeted with a very roomy cabin. Lots of legroom, lots of headroom, lots of room to just stretch out. And that's a good trait for a minivan. But it's a pretty stylish looking cabin design. Do a push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start, of course. And what you're hearing there is a 3.5 liter V6. Full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, we have a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability. When you put the vehicle into reverse, this will display your rear view camera with guidance lines, no trajectory however. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards. All windows are fully automatic in the Sienna. Go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with blind spot detection. "19-inch alloy wheels. Halogen projector beam headlights with LED daytime running lights, and you do have your fog lights down below. Now, powering the Sienna here is your only engine choice. It's a 3.5 liter V6 that produces 266 horsepower at 6,200 RPM and 245 pound-feet of torque at 4,700 RPM, with EPA estimates being 18 in the city and 25 on the highway. Now, what makes the Sienna stand out in the minivan class is that you can get all-wheel drive, which is a really nice feature to have for a minivan. Not any other minivan offers all-wheel drive. You can go for all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, of course, and the Sienna does run on regular unleaded fuel. Now, this powertrain does provide an okay amount of power for the vehicle. However, there is no optional powertrain available for the Sienna, just like with many other minivans. Competitors of the Sienna, you have the vehicles in the minivan class, of course. This includes the likes of the Honda Odyssey, Chrysler Town & Country, Dodge Gran Caravan, and the new Chrysler Pacifica, as well as the Nissan Quest. EPA estimates, like I said, are 18 city, 25 highway. Total vehicle price for our particular one is $41,160. You have roof rails on the top right here too. Coming to the rear, you have LED taillights, LED third brake light, and rear reflectors. Now, not every Sienna is going to come with these taillights. This only comes on the SE trim level. All of your basic power necessities, power windows, power door locks, power mirrors too. Now let's go ahead and rev it up and hear how the Sienna sounds. Interior quality is pretty good inside of the Sienna here, with excellent materials. You have nice soft touch materials on the armrest, the mid-door panel, on the dashboard. You also do have stitching everywhere inside of this vehicle. It just oozes quality, which is nice. Build quality is excellent. No panel gaps, no interior trim pieces creak a whole lot. Overall, this is a fairly high quality interior for the Sienna. It's certainly better than the Honda Odyssey as well as the Chrysler minivans. Coming to the steering wheel design, pretty good looking steering wheel design, pretty sporty too, with the 3-spoke design here and the nice aluminum trim. On the left we have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, and then your controls for the Toyota Entune system, as well as your voice recognition and your Bluetooth phone controls. Let's go ahead and test out the voice recognition.
How may I help you?
Listen to an FM genre.
Which genre would you like to listen to?
Country.
There are no country stations available on FM.
It does pick up your voice quite well. Over here you have your controls for your little information center, which I will get to in just a minute. Then you have your intermittent windshield wipers, of course. The steering wheel does manually tilt and telescope with a pretty good range of adjustment. Up here we have your auto dimming rearview mirror with garage home link and an integrated compass. Sunglass container with a conversation mirror. Map lights, and then your power sliding doors and your power tailgate. And then your sunroof with the sliding shade and your sunroof controls. Down here you have a huge storage area, and then this is where you'll find your SD card slot, and then you have your 12-volt power outlet, USB port with your auxiliary input, and your heated seats for the driver and the front passenger. Then right here you have dual cup holders and another set of dual cup holders. And right here you have lots of storage space in the center console, tons of things to store in here for the kids. Coming to your climate controls. The climate controls have a pretty simple and clean looking layout with pretty big knobs and buttons here. We do have dual zone automatic climate control. You have your temperatures on the left, and then on the right here, fan speeds, front window defroster, rear window defroster, and then your different zones, of course. Pretty easy to do. And then you have your rear automatic climate control as well. Right here is where you'll find your traction control off button, as well as your blind spot detection. Then you have a little coin box too. Coming to the gauges and the instrument cluster, very traditional looking setup, but I really do love the font on the gauges and then the background, the white background, which is pretty cool. On the left, we have your tachometer and then your coolant temperature. On the right, you have your speedometer as well as your fuel gauge. And the center right there, that's your information center, shows you various amounts of vehicle information. It's controlled by the buttons on the right side of the steering wheel. Shows you things like your fuel range, average fuel economy, average speed, current fuel economy, your trip information, and then you have your turn-by-turn directions for your navigation system. Then shows you your audio source, what radio station is playing or what song is playing. You could change your audio source from here too, which is cool. Any warning messages for the vehicle, and then settings such as your language, units, drive info, eco indicator if you want that on or off, or your pop-up display, accent color, you could change that if you would like. What I do love about this information center is that it does have a little back button, which is pretty cool, which makes it very convenient and easy to use. So you don't have to hold down any buttons or anything like that. Overall, I love this little information center for the Sienna. The seats are also fairly comfortable, slightly firm, but they're pretty plush overall. The thigh support is excellent, and you do have little armrests on the sides right here, which is pretty nice. Coming to the touchscreen here, this is Toyota's Intune system and their infotainment system here. This is their multimedia interface, and we've seen it countless times. I'm not going to go too in-depth on the system, but this is your home screen right here, and then on the side right here, these are touch sensitive buttons, and they are calibrated pretty well, I have to say. Coming to your different audio sources, it includes all of the norm: AM, FM, XM satellite radio, CD player, USB port with iPod integration, Bluetooth streaming audio, your auxiliary input, and then you have your rear entertainment system. Your apps, you have your navigation, but you have to have the SD card inserted into that slot right there down here. And then you also do have your eco. It shows you all of your trip information, shows you a bar graph of your fuel economy data, and then you have your average speed and fuel range too. Audio, of course. Then setup, you could change many different settings on here. And then you have the driver easy speak system. So basically what the driver easy speak system is that you could talk to the microphone up front, and the what you say in the microphone up front will be transmitted back into the rear speakers of the vehicle. This is a nice way if you don't want to yell or scream at your kids all the way in the back. So that's a pretty useful feature, and you'll also find this feature in the Toyota Highlander as well. Over here we also do have your navigation, traffic, and then your HD data too. And then your driver settings, as well as your vehicle customization, door lock settings, climate settings, light settings. Over here we also do have your phone, but when you hook up your Bluetooth phone, you can have all of your contacts stored on here, have integrated dial pad. Overall, love the Toyota Intune system. It's one of the best in the business, very intuitive, very user-friendly, and this touchscreen is very responsive. Now the Toyota Sienna in SE form is one of the better minivans to drive out there. It offers a decent amount of driver feedback, and you can feel for where this minivan is trying to go. It does not feel numb at all when you're driving this vehicle, and the ride quality is still very compliant and very absorbent, and it soaks up road bumps quite well. Now I think the Honda Odyssey handles just a little better than the Toyota Sienna in SE form, but overall this is not a bad minivan to drive. The 3.5 liter V6 also provides a decent amount of power for the vehicle too. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the minivan. You have your power tailgate. Now the seats in the Sienna can be folded flat into the floor, and you can also opt for power folding third row seats. Now back here you will find a 120 volt power outlet as well as a 12 volt power outlet. Then you have a little cargo light back here too. But to fold the seats flat into the floor, you just have to follow the steps given. And you also do have a little storage area right here, which is nice. Now, of course, you do have dual power sliding doors that can be activated from the key or inside the vehicle. Now, these second row seats, they do slide forward and aft, they do recline, and they do fold down to maximize cargo space. Now, when sitting back here in the Sienna, there's plenty of space, plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom as well. You have dual map pockets back here. And then you have an 120 volt power outlet, and then your video jacks for your rear entertainment system. Then this is where you'll also find dual cup holders too. The seats themselves are quite comfortable, very plush and very supportive, and you do have armrests on the side right here. Now, what's optional on the Sienna on higher end trim levels is the lounge seating where you can get a little footrest, which is pretty cool. It's great for long road trips. And then you also do have this very wide screen, this rear entertainment system here. You can display 2 movies at the same time on the screen, which is pretty cool. And then back here, we also do have rear sunshades as well. Not a bad experience. Very comfortable experience back here. All right. Now, to get into the third row of the Sienna, it's a fairly easy mechanism. Just pull this lever up and then push the seat forward and you hop right in. It's as easy as that. And one reason to buy a minivan over, say, a crossover is that you have much more space in the third row. Lots of headroom as well as lots of legroom too. It's a very comfortable experience for third row passengers. Now, you do have dual cup holders back here, as well as a little storage compartment and a rear sunshade too, which is nice. The seats themselves are quite comfortable back here too. They do lack a little bit of thigh support, but it's pretty comfortable back here, especially for a third row. All right. So the 2016 Toyota Sienna is an excellent choice for a minivan with its decent driving dynamics. It's good room for all 3 rows of the vehicle, and it's very